With Rabbi Fratkin as the head of school, he has a handle and pulse on the entire school because he's thinking 5, 10, 15 years ahead how to continue to make Chabad Academy relevant, and so that it will continue to grow and allow your culture to continue to grow and flourish. Looking through past Wasc reports, through the team that has been developed here at Academic Leaders, we were extremely impressed with the general studies and how that's going. If a parent is here, you should feel very good about your child coming to this institution. They are being academically prepared and academically challenged so that when they leave here to go on to high school, they will be extremely successful. The first area that you need to celebrate is your curriculum development is an ongoing process with an ultimate goal of integrating Judaic and general studies curriculum. That is terrific. It's interwoven, it's thematic, and it's scaffolded from grade level to grade level between the two. So you're not just teaching a math class, you're also teaching the values and moral values of Judaic studies within math or history. And that's the way kids are going to learn, and they're going to really be able to grasp it as they move forward in life. Also, students are assessed on a regular basis, and results are used to monitor progress towards continent standards and SLOs. Anyway, we've noticed that you are using all standardized testing and benchmarks to reevaluate your program constantly. And you're just not sitting back and saying, hey, you know what? This worked for us last year, it's going to work on, and you're challenging yourself daily, weekly, and yearly. And the nice thing is you're not being stagnant. You're not staying in one level, you're continuing to change, and you're being the trendsetters within the educational community here. And that's a terrific thing. The school has a safe, nurturing environment that is conducive to student enthusiasm for learning. As we walk through all of your classrooms, there is a distinct difference between you and the local public school down the street. Every one of you that is at this school is here for a reason. You love what you do. You don't look at this as a career, you look at it as a passion, as a life goal. And all staff are qualified to teach the subjects they are teaching. Parents in this room, you need to feel good about that. This staff that is here, they're highly qualified. What they're doing, they're going above and beyond the call of duty to ensure that your students have what it takes to be successful at the next level. You hear so much in the public sector now about Common Core, about this or about that. The great thing about this school is they're able to take what works best, implement it, and areas to focus on. We'd like you to continue to schedule and organize a variety of frequent staff development activities, especially in light of new state standards. State standards are always changing. Those of you that have been around, it's a pendulum. Those of you who've been teaching for 30 years, 20 years, this isn't new. They just repackaged it and called it something new. Curriculum instruction and assessment. Areas to celebrate. You have highly qualified and dedicated teaching professionals. We want to talk about that again. We're walking through your science class, and your science teacher here with her beaker mug is doing amazing things. And I just happened to pull her out of the thing. You have things that are going on here. While I was here on this campus, I had the opportunity, along with our team members, we walked through a heart. And we got to see a student lead us through this heart and explain about the ventricles and about oxygen and carbon dioxide. That's real hands-on learning. That didn't come from some fancy book or some name. It came from passion from a teacher. And each and every teacher in this room has that. Each rabbi has that. You fully understand, you accept, and you hear, and you teach. And it's because of your love for the students that we see this happening. You have comprehensive, well-rounded curriculum that incorporates fine arts and technology. In addition, you incorporate the Torah values into general studies of curriculum, which is important. You just don't have Chabad Hebrew Academy on the name. That's who you are in everything you do, whether it's a math class, a science class, a language class. You're weaving those values through. And that is extremely important because the kids are going to get a better understanding of both because they know it's not two separate entities. It's tied into one. Next is support for student personnel and academic growth. Areas to celebrate. Multiple co-curricular opportunities for students both during and after school. You guys are doing a great job. There is a ton of things going on this campus. It's alive. Special events, family nights, and in-school functions that promote student connectiveness. Just think, you have students coming from across the border an hour and a half to get here. If that's not dedication, I don't know what is. Areas to focus on: expand availability of current counseling services. And it's something that's already been done. We had the opportunity on Monday to see 2 counselors on this campus being able to talk to students and having parents. As parents, if you don't know about your counseling services here, if you have an issue, you can come talk to Mrs. Stanley and she can set up an opportunity for your child to talk to that counselor. Resource management and development. You know what? We can talk about all this other stuff, but this is where the rubber meets the road, because if you don't have the dollars, you can't turn on the lights. So you have a thorough budget process. Rabbi Fratkin here does a terrific job of making sure that you have the resources here to be able to carry out the jobs that you are all doing. Financial resources available to continually support the students' achievement and successful meeting the school-wide learning objectives. You're doing that terrific. Strong commitment to ensure that the appropriate and effective resource planning and monitoring takes place. And you have a contemporary and secure school facility. I can't tell you, I've been to over 30 schools as a chairperson. This is the most secure, most safe campus I have been on. You should be commended on your safe, secure campus. And it doesn't only come because you have cameras and lights, it comes because each one of you is diligently doing your job. So that's terrific. Here it is. This is where it all comes together. Celebrate school-wide strengths. Chabad Hebrew Academy is doing an excellent job in maintaining a very high academic standard in general studies while preparing students for high school and beyond. If you're a parent here, you need to feel good that when your kid leaves here in 8th grade, whatever direction they go, whether it's on to follow Jewish studies or whether it be to a public school or whatever it is, your kid is going to have the tools to be successful as they move into the future, and you need to feel great about that. Mrs. Stanley is a very strong educational leader and demonstrates it through creating an environment that is conducive to student learning. And the thing is, they're willing to make paradigm shifts whenever necessary to continue to grow your school to be pertinent. Next, curriculum development is an ongoing process with an ultimate goal of an integrated Judaic and general studies curriculum. Chabad Hebrew Academy has a staff of highly qualified and dedicated teaching and administrative professionals. Parents, we didn't meet one teacher on this entire stay, one grounds person that thought of this as a job that they had to come do. They did it because they have a passion for your kids. And you need to know that is unique. Let's see here. Chabad Academy is consistently reevaluating this program and if needed is willing to purchase new and updated curriculum for both general and Judaic studies. If it's the right thing for your kids, your leadership will find a way to get it for you, and that should be commended. Finally, Chabad Hebrew Academy has a very clean and well cared for, contemporary and secured campus, which is a great thing. Areas of focus: better communication of standardized test success to parents and school community. You know what? As we're looking through your stuff, you have some amazing test scores, but you guys are so humble. You need to celebrate these successes with your parents. Parents, they are downplaying the amazing things that are happening here. Unfortunately, there is no real instrument that can compare us apples to the public school, and that is by design. We can't give a test that says this is what our API is. But I tell you what, your students will stack up and surpass because there's more than just, can you take a math test? Your kids are excelling academically, and you need to do a better job of sharing that with your parents, teachers, administrators, with your community at large, how well you're doing here. We think it should be commended. Continue to find more professional development opportunities for your faculty and administration, whether that be for general studies or Judaic studies. Find ways to keep your rabbis engaged so that they learn cutting-edge ways to continue to share their passion for the... Continue to monitor the relevance and validity of the current educational trends and how they would help your students. We put this in here on purpose. We want you to know what's going on in public schools. Parents, if you're off to somewhere and they're going, why are you spending this money to send your kids to this school when you have this free public school that has a 915 API? Well, my child does this on the Terra Nova test. My child has values. My child's going to be successful, and I'm not going to worry about my child getting in trouble down the road because they've been taught the right things from a very young age. And that's what you need to be able to address as you talk to other parents. Let's see, next. As you plan your implement your work, include find ways to communicate the success and progress of the upcoming Campus of Life development. And you guys have some stuff that's going on campus here that we've heard about that's unique and that is exciting. I mean, these are things that are going to help your school be able to sustain what it's doing well into the future. And you need to share that with your parents. Parents, if you knew some of the stuff that's going on here, you would be doing backflips and be so excited with the plans that your leadership has for you, that they are going to help your kids get even better prepared because of their foresight of how to keep this school relevant 5, 10, 15, 20 years into the future is going to be great. Use every opportunity to celebrate student success. And that's the other big thing. Teachers, you're doing great work here. And parents, you need to know that these teachers love what they do and your kids are getting the best. You're not getting leftovers or a job, you're getting a passion. And we want you to celebrate that and share that with your community. Let them know the wonderful things that are going on in this school. Finally, in conclusion, it was evident over our 3-day visit to Chabad Hebrew Academy, they are surpassing academic standards within the state of California. Many would consider what is happening on this campus to be the gold standard for general education and Judaic studies. At the end of the day, you should frame that, you should send it out. Anybody calls about your school, this is the paragraph I'd show them. There's a lot of things that everybody can do to continue, but you are such modest people, this summarizes your school in a paragraph the best way we could. And this all happens because of you as teachers, your passion. Parents, you need to pat yourself on the back because you made a conscious effort, and in some of your cases, a huge sacrifice to send your kids to this institution. In turn, as a business background, there was something called an ROI, return on investment. Parents, your investment into your child's education in this institution is going to pay huge dividends. A school-wide action plan, visualize what it will be for the students 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. That's it.
From a Judaic studies program, never have I seen it, and I've been to a lot of schools, and never have I seen it blended to a level that you really see one school only with so many different options, whether it's the morning classes, the afternoon classes, it's all blended, both the general studies and the Judaic studies. But we would love to have students with your midot, your character development. There's no question they are exceptional, and they're normal. Your science program is unbelievable. I think that the presentation, but so is every other aspect of what you put forth. Whether it was the early childhood area, and whether it was any of the Limudei Kodesh or the regular general studies, a phenomenal presentation of your energy, your focus, how much you like, care, and enjoy what each and every one of you is doing. But there's no question of the love that's being given, which I think sets a baseline for the love that the students feel and know they're appreciated, and how they move further on those items. And they're learning. You see it all over. Of all the schools I've ever been at for a Wasc committee meeting, this was by far the most gratifying to see such a high level of, of care for what's going on. I think all of the kids will benefit in their lives from every bit of experience here.